So what's going on, everyone? I really appreciate you tuning into this video. What I want to do right now is just a walk and talk. I took a week off of social media, no filming, no posting, and just focused on the family. With this epidemic going on, you lose sight of things. We're home and you feel like you have to fill your time with projects or things to do, and you forget what's in front of you. So I took the week off and just really focused on the family, and we did a lot of projects together, and I want to show you guys what we're doing. It's really cool. I'm really excited. We pretty much just started to spruce up a bit. One big thing, one addition, is Chris is building a rabbit hutch. He's gonna be picking up some rabbits that are really cool. That's not gonna be full in like the chickens. However, it's gonna be another line of meat for our family, and also in hopes to sell as well. I believe he's picking up rabbits that aren't ready to breed, so it's gonna be a slow progress of learning rabbits and just doing it right and just taking our time with that. He is going to be taking over that, and I'm really excited to see how that grows and what comes from that. Walking around here, really just trying to clean up the junkyard. I ended up fixing our compost boxes. I ended up, as you saw in probably a previous video, I got last year's compost in 2 separate bins this time, and I got these wood pallets, or not wood pallets, wood slats covered up, and I also filled these holes that the pallets have, because last year the chickens absolutely demolished it. And I mean, it's good. There's bugs, there's worms in here, but they kicked it out on the ground. So I ended up cleaning that up off the ground, and I got it in the box, and I ended up fixing what's new, what's going in the compost now, our eggshells, our banana peels, all of the leftover product that isn't food and can't be eaten by a chicken or a pig. The other big thing is the goats are on the pasture. We took them off their winter paddock, cleaned it up, moved some hay around, and Joanna ended up planting all of our vine crops, our winter squash, our pumpkins, our zucchinis. Not really vine, however, that's gonna be a border. Those get really big and they take up a lot of space in the garden, so that's going in here. What else did she plant? I think she planted some watermelons, so that's gonna be really cool. The goats have been fertilizing this all winter long, and especially with the hay, we're continuing to build that topsoil. That's one thing that's really important here. Soil health is huge, because if you have healthy soil, you're gonna have healthy food, and that's the main key. That our main goal of what we want to produce here is healthy food for ourselves and potential customers. One thing we did is we cut down this tree near the fire pit. It was getting burnt up. When we started, it was just a little fire, and it ended up just growing to this huge bonfire, destroying that tree, and it was time to get a cut because it was getting a little dangerous. So I ended up cutting that tree down, and it was an oak, so we'll be able to use that wood in the future to heat the house. So that's pretty cool as well. We moved the goats from the paddock, like I just said, and they're on the pasture. I really want to practice rotational grazing, being mindful of how long they're in a certain area on the paddock, or on the pasture, I mean. Allowing them to eat and then move, not be seated there. And because when you have an animal sit in one location, that's where you get your worms, your parasites. So what we got is the Premier One fencing, and I have a paddock set up that lasts them 3 to 4 days. Now it varies because we do have some wet area back here from where our creek is. It has been rainy the last few weeks, so so we have some overflow. Our property has springs all over the place, so we got to be careful because goats don't like water, and also their hooves. You got to make sure their hooves don't get hoof rot. So they were over here in the beginning of the week. I moved them over here, and it's actually time to move them. And what I'm actually going to be doing is, after I move the goats, I'm following through with a lawnmower. They can't get all of it down, or at least I don't even want them all of it down, because I want to move them, because we have a lot of pasture that needs to get cleaned up, and we don't have a big tractor to cut it and do some hay bales. So I want them on here cleaning the pasture up, because I don't want to lose what we already have. We're clearing out the tree of life. That is doing really good. Eventually, we'll make our way up into the woods, because everything is starting to green up. Everything's starting to bud. The pricker bushes are growing like weeds, and the vines are taking off. So eventually they're gonna make their way up here, and then they're gonna make their way down, because I'm gonna try to move them. I'm not gonna try, I'm gonna do every 3 to 4 days. They're gonna be moved, and I'm gonna mow, and by the time they come back here, it's gonna be long again, because we want to keep producing. And also, it's like buffalo going over the Great Plains. When they're walking, they're putting down manure, but also they're actually trampling grass down into the soil and building that topsoil. So that is huge, because we want our paddocks to be healthy as well. Missy's kids are doing great. They're getting big, and I've actually seen them eating grass. So they're transitioning to the pasture very smoothly, and it's really good to see that. Everyone is looking really healthy. We are giving some supplemental feed to Missy. I try to isolate her, because she is, feeding 2 baby goats. So we want to make sure she keeps her weight up for that. However, one thing is, we're still struggling with our chickens. Chickens are being moved twice a day. Because of the cold weather, they're not growing as quick. This is the earliest we've ever done meat birds, and it's definitely a learning experience. As you guys know, we've lost a lot of birds, and we're supposed to be butchering a week from today. However, we're gonna postpone it. So we're gonna be going for 8 weeks. As you can see, they're not that big. About the size of my hand, maybe a softball and a half, but they're definitely not 4 to 5 pound butchering weight. So we're gonna postpone that. And other than that, things are going pretty smooth. We cannot complain. I'm still on a 2 to 3 day rotation at work. So I am working, and the days I'm not working, I'm home with the kids, helping out with homeschool, helping Driana, and doing what I love the most is farming and just loving what God has in store for us and listening to what He has planned. I mean, this is absolutely some weird times in our country, in the world. There's definitely going to be new normal, that's for sure. I've been listening to a lot of pastors say that, we can't go back to pre-virus, post-virus, when things start opening. If we haven't learned something from this, it's kind of a disappointment. I mean, we take a lot of things for granted in America, and it's important to slow down, see what's in front of you, and enjoy what you have. So that's what I did this past week. Took a break, no camera, didn't even post on Instagram, Facebook, nothing. And it just soaked in the time that I have, because the word is people are going to be starting to open up. Once things open up, I don't want to be like, man, I should have slowed down a little bit. So I did that, and we're going to continue to do that, but we're going to try to bring you guys along for that. So that's what we've been doing. If you haven't, go check out the Bigfoot Farmer on Instagram. Everything's down below in the description. You know, Facebook, my Instagram, Joriana's Instagram, Freedom Family Farms Instagram. There's a lot down in the descriptions. So every bit helps, and I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't love it. However, I really appreciate taking you guys along for that. So I'm actually going to end this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing the updates, seeing the goats in the pasture. I absolutely love that, walking out there, seeing a full pasture. And hopefully one day there's actually a meat cow out there. So if you haven't, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and don't be afraid to leave some comments. Let me know what you guys are doing in the garden, and I will see you guys around.
Hit that subscribe button.